Hello, this is Alonso. I have seen many YouTubers using this website that is called Dreamy DET. I was so curious about it and finally I got access. So let's take a look and see how it works. To begin with, we have this section in which you have to choose if the word is either a real one or not. You can also listen to it, and even more, you can actually save the word just to check it later. Here you can see the IPA pronunciation both for British and American English, and you can also play it. For example, this word here is real. You can actually see the definition, and I'm gonna save it to check it later on. I am going to say this one is false just for you to see what happens. You see that it says wrong, and this is also sorted by levels, so I'm going to choose a hard one. Let's see what happens. I don't know whether this one is real or not. Well, it was actually a real word. Since this is new to me, I'm going to save it. Here you can see how many I have practiced and the total list as well. I think this is great because you can measure, and you know what they say, what you don't measure, you do not improve it. So yeah, highly relevant. Also, because you can see how many words is recommended to learn, you can feel more confident about your goal. Now I'm gonna explain about this section, which is also one of my favorites, which is listen and then type in. As you can see, the menu is very well designed. You can find each type of question very easily. So let's get to it, to listen and then type. There are 5 levels of difficulty. As for now, I'm going to choose this one, advanced, the hardest. Let's practice. This is going to be hard for me too. Let's get started.
The heat equation and similar diffusion equations are useful tools to study random phenomena. The heat equation and similar diffusion equations are useful tools to study random phenomena. The heat equation and similar diffusion equations are useful tools to study random phenomena.
I think I got it.
The heat equation and similar diffusion equations are useful tools to study random phenomena.
I got this one wrong. Here. As you can see, you can find the correction here. What is mind-blowing about this is that I have found many questions from the real tests. I have taken the real test. Many of my viewers usually tell me what questions they have been asked on the real one too. Many of the questions have matched the real test or the simulation test, so it has been quite surprising indeed. And on the top you can see the total of exercises to take, and they are sorted by levels as well. As you can see, we have an insane number of questions, so you know that you will be ready for the test. Now let's take a look at the read aloud question type in which they truly nail it. I am going to choose the first one. Here you can see the timer like in the real test. Additionally, you can see feedback for your answer and a sample answer by a native speaker.
This breaks the website's rules.
I'm going to record my answer. This breaks the website's rules. You get automatic feedback from artificial intelligence when you have the premium account. Let's see the score. 140, which is not bad, but I definitely have room for improvement. When you scroll down, you can find your answer recorded, so you can listen to it yourself. This breaks the website's rules. Good enough. Optionally, you can compare your performance with other test takers, so you get competitive and enjoy practicing thanks to this leaderboard. Let's move on. On the feedback, they tell you when you have to stress a word, when you have to be careful with your intonation, and also when you have to connect the words better. Fine, now let's jump into the question type, read, and then write. I'm going to choose the first one. They are also divided by levels, And when you scroll down, you can find sample answers too. Let's see. Let's zoom in. Whenever I find a word that I don't know the meaning, I can highlight it so it will display the meaning, and I can also add it to my word list to learn it later on. For example, I'm going to highlight this one. Although I know the meaning, the spelling is hard to me, so I'm gonna save it. I just have to click on here, and that's it. It has been added to my list. Wonderful. Now let's jump into the next type of question: listen and then speak. Most of us can agree that this is one of the hardest question types, since you only have a few seconds to listen to it.
What
Veamos.
do you think is the most important modern invention? Why is it important?
Alright, here you can see the text of the answer and the sample answer as well. Let's get to the next one. Speak about the photo. It is also sorted by levels. And of course, another sample answer. Let's continue. Okay, now let's take a look at the interactive listening question type. When you click right here, you can see the conversation. Let's move on. Let's listen to this now.
I loved it. It was really interesting and I learned a lot.
Now I'm going to skip this. I'm going to jump into the sample summary. And when you scroll down, you get to see the sample answer and the complete dialogue. So now let's continue with the reading section, the interactive reading. So I'm going to choose the first one, so you know how it works. It has the same style of the original test, and you can practice it again. You get the comments and also the sample answer. Now let's take a look at the read and complete question type. I am choosing the first one as usual, so you get to see the answers and you can add those words to your word list. You can see all the words, the timer, the comments, and your previous practice. The next section is to write about the photo. It is sorted by levels as well. You see the timer, images that you can find on the real exam, and the sample answer, which I find very useful, since every time I take a look I actually find new words like this one here that I just added to my list. Next question is read and then write. It is sorted by levels and you also get the sample answer. I also have to say that on the answers they really use advanced words, so I'm learning a lot, but not only advanced words, but you also can find like the whole sentences, like the collocations. As a native speaker would use them, so it has been very useful. Now we get both the writing and the speaking sample. In the writing sample, you will find the sample answer with that advanced vocabulary and collocations, and you can also see the number of words that you wrote. When it comes to vocabulary, you can filter the words that you know or that you need to learn. Also, you get the audio from each word. It could be either in American or British English, and you can play it in a loop. This means that if you want to, you can repeat the audio automatically with up to 10 words that you select. Let's see one example.
Poison. Permanently.
We can also hide the meaning and the vocabulary if we want to. Additionally, we find this practice section tailored with the words that we have listed. We can also set a deadline as a reminder for the real test, which I find highly motivational. Other than that, on the broader aspect, we get over 6,000 questions with their answers, which are being regularly updated, and also they are contrasted with the feedback from students to ensure that they always align the real test. We also get the automated feedback with artificial intelligence on the read aloud question type. There is also the vocabulary bank, which is great from my point of view. To be honest, the vocabulary bank is kind of addictive. I usually keep one tab open with this and I solve it throughout the day. You also get the custom word of list that you have to practice specifically, and also you can see the meaning of the words whenever you are like solving one of these exercises. They are always updating the questions and the answers, and we also got the leaderboard, which is very motivating. Last but not least, I want to thank the Dreamy DET team for reaching out and for sponsoring this video. They gave me the chance to try this website just to be sure that I could recommend it. So I've been trying this website for over a month, and also some test takers that I know, because I don't want to recommend something that I don't really trust. And I trust this website. I think that is is very useful, is very well developed, and the cost benefit relationship is just great. I also have to thank the Dreamy DET team because I was about to abandon my YouTube channel. That was back when my channel had 400 followers, but since they got in contact with me, they reached out. That motivated me to continue, and that's how the channel got to the 1000 followers. So I'm really grateful for that motivation. And also, this website actually has like a trial, so you can give it a try. I know that you are going to like this website and it will help you to improve on your Duolingo score.